Hello and welcome to WordRise English Stories. In today's video, you will listen to a B2 level English story designed to improve your listening and vocabulary. In this story, you will hear useful English patterns like have you ever, I wish, and used to. Let's begin. The morning that changed everything. Susan sat quietly by the window, holding a warm cup of tea in her hands. It was still early, just after 6 in the morning. The city outside was calm, almost asleep. Her small flat felt peaceful. Her cat, Oliver, curled up beside her, purring softly. "I wish I could stay like this forever," she whispered. But she couldn't. She had to go to work. Susan used to love her job. Every morning she used to wake up excited, looking forward to the day ahead. She had great colleagues, and they often laughed together, shared stories, and even went out after work. Sometimes they watched films, sometimes they had dinner, and sometimes they just walked around the city. But things had changed. Most of her old colleagues had left. New people had joined, but something felt different. The office was quieter now. Conversations were shorter, smiles were rarer. Susan missed the past. "I wish things were like before," she thought. Later that day, during lunch, she sat next to a new colleague named Emily. Trying to start a conversation, Susan smiled and asked, "Have you ever seen the new cinema near the river?" Emily looked up and shook her head. "No, I haven't. I don't really watch films," she said. Susan blinked in surprise. She almost laughed. "Have you ever met someone who doesn't like films?" she thought to herself. That evening, Susan walked home slowly. The streets were busy, but she felt alone. She stopped for a moment and looked at the sky. "I wish I had the courage to change something," she said quietly. A few days later, something unexpected happened. Susan received an email. It was a job offer. A small company, not far from her home, was looking for someone with her experience. She hesitated. Change is never easy. That night, she sat again by the window, just like before. Oliver jumped onto her lap. She smiled. "Have you ever felt scared and excited at the same time?" she asked softly. The next morning, she made her decision. She accepted the offer. A few weeks later, everything felt different. Her new workplace was lively. People talked, laughed, and shared ideas. One evening, a colleague asked, "Do you want to join us for a film after work?" Susan smiled. "I would love to." As she walked home that night, she looked up at the sky again. This time, she didn't feel stuck. She felt free. All right then, let's look at some useful words from the story. Our first word is peaceful. Peaceful means calm and quiet. For example, the morning was peaceful and relaxing. Next, we have colleague. A colleague is a person you work with. For example, my colleagues are very friendly and helpful. The next word is curled up. Curled up means sitting or lying in a comfortable, rounded position. For example, the cat curled up next to her on the sofa. Now, let's look at the word purring. Purring is the soft sound a cat makes when it feels comfortable or happy. For example, the cat was purring softly. Next word, hesitate. To hesitate means to pause before making a decision. For example, she hesitated before accepting the new job. Let's continue with courage. Courage means the ability to do something difficult or scary. For example, it takes courage to make big life changes. The next word is unexpected. Unexpected means something that happens without warning. For example, she received an unexpected email. And finally, decision. A decision is a choice that you make after thinking. For example, she made an important decision about her career. Now, Let's review the key sentence patterns from the story. First, we have you ever? We use this pattern to talk about life experiences. For example, have you ever seen a film like this? Have you ever felt this way? Next, I wish. We use I wish to talk about things we want to change or regret. For example, I wish I had more time. I wish things were different. And finally, used to. We use this pattern to talk about past habits or situations. For example, I used to work in a different office. She used to go out with her friends every evening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more English stories. And if you want to learn these words faster, download my app, WordRise, English Vocabulary, on Google Play. You can find link in the description below. See you in the next video.